Jekyll and Hyde, you're the evil twin. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, you're never gonna. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're lucky if I stick around. Maybe foolish, but I ain't a clown. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, 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 no.
Well, that's really long, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're here. What's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm all good, man. Just had a nice calm weekend, chilled out, enjoyed the fights on Sunday. And just excited for this weekend. Nice to have a week off from one championship. No fights this Friday, just so I can concentrate on the UFC this weekend.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing a show tomorrow, though, but not in the evening, maybe in the morning. Just a one championship state of play. Talk a little bit about Gordon Ryan, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, keep your eyes peeled for that. I'll set it up later. I'm also speaking to none other than Mr. Chattery tomorrow as well.
Oh,
so
wow.
get it straight from the horse's mouth there. Not calling you a horse, Chattery. Anyway, yeah, today we're just going to do our picks. A little bit crazy out here, isn't it, Chris? Vaccine. I was meant to get vaccinated yesterday. You already got your first one, and then they've suspended all
the vaccine. Yeah.
What's going on there?
I have no idea, but hopefully they can get to the bottom of it. I hope I've been vaccinated, but who knows?
Yeah, you might not get your second dose. Is that right?
Yeah, who knows now? I guess everything's been pushed back, and I guess this is the problem. It just pushes us a little bit further away from normalcy.
Here we go. Well, Eddie the Blasian, one stream to the next. Thank you. John has just wrapped up his show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. I always do. Alan Bones Jones in the house as well. Hope you had a great weekend as well, Alan. One Championship UK. All the usual guys in the house. Like to see it. Yeah, we're here to make our picks for UFC 260. We're going to use Fanatics Fantasy MMA. Chris, do the thing.
Just so you guys know, if you want to get on this absolutely amazing app, if you want all your information about your fighters, you want to be able to do picks, you can do it based on win percentage, you can do it versus Las Vegas, you can join our group, you can join the Reddit group, you can make your own group with your friends. It's good, you can chat on there, you can banter, you can get up all the statistics. It's not just UFC, it's not just one championship, it's not just Bellator. They got Rising on there, they got KSW on there. I think they had a bit of Cage Warriors over the weekend. So there's absolutely everything you can do on it. And the best thing of all, the app is free. You just have to go and download it from the Play Store, the App Store. It's probably on the Huawei Gallery, I assume. So it's all available.
What a great job you do every time selling this app. If that doesn't convince you, I don't know what people will take to convince them if your sales pitch can't do it.
No doubt.
You should be on The Apprentice. You should have applied. Seriously. The
Is
guy
it
who
episode
pitched
2 tonight?
Yeah, I think so. But
yeah,
honestly, the guy who made the pitch in the first week, there were two pitches. You are much better than one of them. I'll tell Chattery tomorrow. Hiya, Chris. Have you seen the first episode yet?
I have not actually, but it is available now. I know on Now TV in Hong Kong. Got to use the Now TV player, so I'm looking into that at the moment.
Yeah, we can't encourage any illegal downloading and streaming, so
of course.
Official. But I'm sure it's out there if you want to find it. How's your arm, Chris? Oh, that's kind of Jesus keeping tabs on you.
Yeah, it is much, much better. It did hurt a lot. I've had a few jabs over my time living in Asia, traveling around Asia and other parts of the world. And yeah, I've never had one that hurt for so many days. But apart from that, I had no real illness. Maybe a little bit tired 2 days after, the day after. But apart from that, it was no problem. But I just hope I got the actual vaccine.
Yeah, you don't know what's actually inside of you right now. Anyway. No. Chris EB MMA is the best salesman in MMA media. Agreed, hands down. Chris got me amped, says Eddie. That's right. I'm amped to make my picks. And One Championship UK says I look positively bright today. I think that's just the contrast on my laptop is ramped up to the top. No, I'm feeling good, Jesus. Thank you. I'm feeling ready. I'm excited to make my picks for UFC 260. Let's go for it, Chris.
It's a pretty good card. I like the card from top to bottom. I think it's really interesting. It's nice to have a numbered event, a pay-per-view, if you will. It's only 10 fights long. I know everyone always wants more fights, but 15 is a bit too much. I like the 10 to 12. I think it's a little bit more compact. And that's about the right time for my girlfriend to watch the whole thing. She doesn't really like a 15-fight card. But yeah, apart from that, it's pretty good, and it really does kick off this last little stretch now in the Apex Centre in Vegas. Got Gastelum, Whitaker after this until Vittori, and then we're off to Jacksonville for 261. So with America opening up in other parts of the world, you never know. It could be the last time we see fights in the Apex.
How do you rate this Apex era? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, man, I think it's been good. It's been a good way to get through the pandemic for sure. Apex has pretty much paid for itself. Probably didn't make as much sense before because it was just really Dana White's Contender Series and the Ultimate Fighter and used along with the Performance Institute. But I guess it's pretty much paid itself off this whole year because it's allowed them to do events in America. And yeah, that and Fight Island have been really, really good. And I actually think in the long term, we might see the UFC maybe go down a road of having a few big regional centers where maybe they own their own, not stadiums, but maybe arenas. Because, you know, if you do 5, 6, 7 events a year in one place in LFA and they're using it for other stuff, it could make a very, very sensible business model, particularly, you know, they've got the Performance Institute in Mexico, the one in Las Vegas, Shanghai, because I believe their plan is to aim towards 10 events a year in China. So I don't know what that would be, but yeah.
Wow. Let's get down to it then.
No
Stipe, Francis, Drake, and JHK have already gone Stipe. Poor Drake, by the way. Drake, he told me this, but he put it on his Twitter, so it's not secret, but he got the old dreaded COVID. So he was meant to be in Vegas for this event for UFC 260. So heal up, Drake. Rest and recover. Hope you feel better soon and get to UFC 261 in a few weeks. Yeah, a shame, but he's made his picks. Not even the coronavirus could stop Drake picking on Fanatics Fantasy MMA, Chris.
Yep.
Who you got, though?
This is just a super interesting fight. It's obviously a rematch. Ngannou's been on a tear since he lost those 2 back-to-back fights against Stipe and Derek Lewis. Stipe has just been Stipe. He's a little bit older now. He went through that absolute war of a trilogy with Daniel Cormier and losing the first fight and then to come back and win the next 2, as well as being an emergency responder during a pandemic, is just absolutely fascinating. Sorry, I believe Stipe really, if you look at his resume and everyone he's beaten, and the only person on his resume that he hasn't beaten in a rematch, he beat JDS in the rematch, he beat Cormier twice in rematches with Stefan Struve, but they both evolved a long way from that fight anyway. Stipe was probably winning that Stefan Struve fight if you look back at it. And then here you've got the best heavyweight of all time, and then we've just got Francis, who is just a knockout machine. And I mean, you really think about it, you take that one Stipe fight out of Francis' record, Stipe has more minutes in the cage against just DC than he does, than I think Ngannou has in something like his last 5 or 6 fights, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand John Yonko's pick. I feel like this one, and to a certain extent, Drake Riggs, I feel this one, if you're back in Stipe, you're probably going for a Stipe decision or KO. I don't really see the submission. I'd throw it on there. And then Ngannou, you've always got to watch out. And this is the most interesting fight, but in all honesty, I think if it gets out of the first round, you got to back Stipe, haven't you? But that first round is just going to be so dangerous and so tentative because we all know when I think Francis, of his knockouts in the UFC, he's only got 2 in the second round. He's never gone past that where he's knocked someone out. Vast majority of them are in the first 2 minutes. So that really tips me one way in this fight. And I think I do have to go with the heavyweight GOAT. And I think when you're getting better odds on the heavyweight GOAT to win the heavyweight championship, I think it's probably worth backing him. So I'm going to go Stipe Miocic, and I'm going to go 5-round decision.
Has John not made a method of victory? That's pathetic, John.
Yeah, classic
Come on.
John Junko.
Step up your game. Put it all on the line. Chris, on SCMP MMA, we put it on the line. We put our necks on the line.
100%.
We don't wimp out of putting the triple or nothing in. If I lose, I lose. No problem. If I win big.
No doubt.
Exactly. All right. This is a tough one. Okay. Let me run through the stats first in case you're on the fence. Anyone? Stipe is the underdog again. Plus 115. Francis minus 125. Favorite. And then you've got 43% of people have picked Francis. So more people are going for Stipe. I'm with you there, Chris.
Yeah, the reason why more people are going with Stipe is because this app is so fantastic, but I know deep down it's not for filthy casuals. It's for all you hardcores out there. And the hardcores know Stipe is gonna win this one the same as he won the first one. I don't know how much Francis has changed, and it does say a lot there that it does say training app for him. It says the UFC Performance Institute. You know, he isn't really working with a gym. He isn't really working with a coach. And the only thing is, has he gotten better since he lost to Stipe?
Because I thought he was training at Extreme Couture.
Okay, I haven't seen him actually improve. I've just seen him do what he did before Stipe, and that's knock people out in the first minute.
Well, I had an interview with him yesterday. I think I'll put it up today. It was a pretty disastrous interview, like one of the worst I've ever done. He just thought I was an idiot, which is probably true. He wasn't really bothered. But I did ask him, are you frustrated about not being able to show your improvements that you've been working on since that first fight? Because you've only had a matter of minutes in the cage added up. And it seemed to say something like yes. But that interview, guys, was not very fun. I got a bit down about it. Yeah. And I had a terrible one with Eddie Alvarez as well at 1 a.m. the night before that. But I had a good one with Denise Zambawanga. I'll be bringing to you all. Plenty of interviews I've got. Got Christian Lee in the can as well. Got, who else? Brandon Vera, Reese McLaren. I can't remember all the interviews I've done the last few days. And there's more coming. Yeah, Chatri tomorrow. John spoke to Mengbo, Itsuki Hirata. We're interviewing everyone for you guys. So keep it on SCMP MMA over the next few days. We'll be rolling all of them out. Here's Eddie.
Subscribe, guys.
Exactly, like and subscribe. Before we leave this fight, please, I must ask why everyone hates mentioning the Black Beast beating Ngannou, and is he probably the next title fight? Chris?
I believe Derek Lewis will be the next title fight if Francis were to win. I think they don't want to give another fight to Stipe. I think they're probably matching Ngannou to Derek Lewis, and then he might fight Stipe after that. Don't know what Stipe will do after the fight if he loses. If he loses, he's most likely getting knocked out anyway, so he won't be able to fight for a while. While Ngannou can fight 3 or 4 times a year because he doesn't have that much cage time in general anyway. So it can really go both ways, but definitely Derek Lewis is right up there. And he's number 1, number 2, number 3 title contender there. Always in the conversation. He has got that win over Francis that I think Francis probably will have to go back and avenge. If he does beat Stipe and he goes back and beats Derek Lewis, then he really does stand himself out having avenged both of his losses in the UFC.
Alan asking, could Alexander Volkov give either John Jones, Francis, or Stipe problems?
Oh, 100%. Volkov is an absolute beast. The thing is, the name value isn't there. And to tell you the truth, that's the fight to be made after this, is John Jones will probably go straight in and fight the winner. So maybe you'll get Derek Lewis Volkov. You never know.
I asked Francis, if you win this fight, is it John Jones next? And he said, I don't care.
Yeah.
That was really soul-crushing. That's fun. Stipe 5 rounds says Lepida Light 2009. More comments here. I'll just get through. Lepida Light also saying Derek Lewis should be the number 1 contender. Everyone is silent about that.
He kind of is the number 1 contender, but the problem is that in the UFC generally, when you're coming up from the champion of another weight class, you do go ahead of everyone else. We've just seen it with Izzy against John, so I guess that's just the way it works. And at the moment, Derek Lewis is ranked number 2 as the contender, and he's 1 place behind Ngannou, so that's fair.
What do you make of this from Alan? I think it's an interesting point. He says, if Stipe loses, do the casuals, those filthy casuals, do they forget about the GOAT talk he was in his last fight? I'm sad he might be forgotten if Francis KOs him.
I don't think he can be forgotten. He beat Verdum, he beat JDS, he beat Cormier, he beat Ngannou once, so it'd be 1 apiece anyway. He's beaten everyone put in front of him. And he's just a fantastic fighter, and no one's defended it as much as him. And he's probably, if he wins this weekend, he's going to tie his own record for the most defenses. The only issue you do have with him is that he probably never fought Cain Velasquez. That's the only problem. But apart from that, the Orlovskis, the Overeems, the Hunts, the JDSs, the Verdums, the Cormiers, and Ngannous, that is a huge, huge body of work. They're really... you could say Overeem and Hunt were kind of the generation before, and then JDS Verdum were kind of his generation, and then beating Ngannou is maybe like the next generation on the come up. So he's kind of at least beating all of his contemporaries over a large time span. So I don't think Stipe can be forgotten. And if he ever were to lose or retire, I think that year he pretty much has to go straight into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, when you beat someone, shouldn't you be ranked above them? Didn't Conor just come back into the pound for pound top 15 in UFC?
The one thing we have to remember about the UFC in all MMA rankings is they're not really rankings. It's not a league table. I always think of it, it's more of a guide.
Yeah, looking forward to the next 1 rankings.
Yeah.
See how they mess those up even more. Anyway, Blaze hasn't made her picks. Never does. She just waits to see what you and I pick, Chris, and then she gets swayed, obviously, because of our excellent advice. All right, let's go to the next pick. She's on the fence again. So are you and I. But Drake and JHK have gone for Vicente Luque over Tyron Woodley. This is now the new co-main, is that right? Because Volkanovski got COVID and he's out of that Ortega title fight. Hopefully they can reschedule that. Crazy though, isn't it, Chris? What happens to Volk now? Does he have to fly home and then quarantine in Vegas for 2 weeks, then fly home, do 3-week quarantine there, or what?
Aren't they staying out there? Because a few other people on the team have tested positive, and aren't they just moving it to 261?
4 title fights.
I don't know. Aren't they moving it to another event? I thought they were keeping them all out there.
Anyone know? Tell us in the comments, please.
I think Stephen Foote said it in the group the other day, but...
Okay.
Yeah. This is a super duper interesting fight. Tyron Woodley, obviously one of the best ever welterweights to do it, had that absolutely amazing run and goal against Vicente Luque, who is, I think, ranked number 10 at the moment, while Woodley is ranked 7. He's literally lost 15 rounds in a row. 15 rounds in a row, he's shown no resistance. He's 38, which is very, very, very old for a welterweight. Everything he's gone through in wrestling, everything he's gone through in fighting, while Vicente Luque is coming off wins against Randy Brown, Nico Price, who he's beaten twice, Mike Perry. Probably his best win is Mike Perry, Nico Price. He has a win earlier in his career against Bilal Muhammad, which is also very solid. And I'm a bit sad to say this. This is a bit like if Tyron Woodley loses this devastatingly, he could be caught 4 losses in a row. Doesn't really look good. I don't know what else he really has to gain. And I'm not sure if he's got it in his tank to improve at this age and to show me something better. And I don't think he'll lose all 5 rounds. I think it'll be close. Obviously, it's a 3-round fight, but I think I'll have to go with Vicente Luque here, as much as it pains for me to say it against Tyron Woodley.
62% of people on Fanatics agree with you, Chris. They're going for Luque. Vegas also has him as a heavy favorite, minus 245. Woodley is plus 215. Yeah, crazy, isn't it, to think he was the champ? But two years ago, was it? Usman took it off him.
Yep.
Yeah, round about March 2019. 38% of people are picking the chosen one, though, Chris.
Yeah.
Is there a case that maybe Woodley is going to show us all there's still life in the old dog yet?
I would love to see it. Nothing would make me happier, but it just seems unlikely.
Well, Drake and JHK agree with you. Oh. I don't know. I'm the frozen one, says Lapido Light. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I think Luque is awesome. But Woodley's got to show something, surely, Chris, soon. He's got to.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if he doesn't show anything in this fight, it probably is time for him to give up. He is still with ATT. I think in his previous fights as well, there's been some problems with his cornering. I think they haven't really told him that he's losing. He's gone in and he's been losing the first 3-4 rounds of a fight clearly. And even in the 5th round, he hasn't attempted to go for a knockout. He hasn't attempted to go for a takedown. He hasn't thrown everything in. And it's just not a good look to be losing 15 rounds in a row.
I am going to do this, Chris. I'm making a bold pick. I'm going for Woodley.
Yeah.
You want to hear why? I think I'm doing stupid maths, but Stephen Wonderboy Thompson handled Vicente Luque pretty easily.
Yep.
Woodley beat Stephen Thompson twice. Oh, there was a draw, wasn't there, the first one?
Yeah.
So I'm going by that logic. That I think Woodley's 3 losses, yeah, they've all come back to back. He's lost 15 rounds, but they were against 3 elite guys in that division. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Burns and Colby and Usman. There's not much, I think, that separates those 3 guys. So I'm just going to give him the slight benefit of the doubt that he had just faced the 3 best guys in the division, and he's not that bad. And I think he's going to show he's still just a level below that, but a level above some of the other guys lower down the division. So I'm going for the chosen one, Tyron Woodley. You can all laugh in my face when Luque knocks him out or something. So, and I stand to make a little bit of points there, Chris, if I get that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tyron Woodley, it would be like nice to see him really utilize some of his University of Missouri NCAA Division I wrestling to try and change this being... You know, Usman is a top wrestler. Colby is a top wrestler. Gilbert Burns obviously fantastic on the ground in jiu-jitsu. So that is one thing that maybe Tyron Woodley could look for, is to maybe use his grappling to beat him. But I think it's going to be a really, really tough night in the office for him.
Well, I like to put my neck on the line, Chris. As I said, at SCMP MMA, we don't just play it easy. I like to throw in a couple of strange ones every week, just in case they come off. You get a lot of points. I got nothing to lose. I'm so far behind in the leaderboard this month. It's a lost cause. I think I'm 70th or something. I have no idea. We'll have a look at the leaderboard. Leon versus Woodley. If Woodley wins, since it got cancelled due to COVID last year. Yeah, Chris, I think to me Leon is I put him in that bracket with Colby, with Burns, you know, and with Usman, like the elite of the elite. This division,
Yeah.
I don't think Woodley would do much else against Leon. I'm just saying I think he's still better than people give him credit for. He's not as bad as people think. And he's probably a level above some of the other people lower down, you know, the rest of the top 10, some of the top 15. But what do you like Leon versus Woodley if Woodley wins?
Yeah, I really like it, but I think it's kind of past its sell-by date now. I'd much rather have seen Leon really, instead of going for the Belal Muhammad fight. I think he should have really pushed for the Wonderboy fight. I think that's the one he should look for, and he should try and get that made. That would be perfect fight, I think. And then I think
Agreed.
having a win over Wonderboy would elevate him, put him straight back into that title picture. And he's a big name. He's a big name in the division.
Woodley versus Wonderboy 3.
No. Leon Edwards versus
No,
Wonderboy.
I just Alan Bones Jones has said this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We want to see that, but
No.
I've just got one of my feelings. Something could happen there. Who knows? It's probably going to be Luke. I'm probably going to be wrong. Anyway, Sean O'Malley, Chris, and Thomas Almeida. Who you got?
Well, this just shows you that the UFC does have its favourites. Anyone out there who's had that opportunity to watch the UFC embedded yet, the first episode is pretty much a split between Stipe and Ngannou. The second episode is a split between Stipe and Ngannou. And then you get to the third episode, and it's all just Sean O'Malley. No co-main event, no Thomas Almeida, just a whole episode of Sean O'Malley. Thomas Almeida has lost 4 out of his last 5. His last really good win would probably be Brad Pickett back in 2015. And since then, he's really just, he has lost to some elites like Cody Garbrandt, Jimmy Rivera, Rob Font, and then Jonathan Martinez. So he's on a little bit of a slide. To me, this is just a really good opportunity that the UFC are making to try and push Sean O'Malley, to get him back up there, to start to get him ranked, to get him a name, and pretty much just to get him in the win column. Maybe after this, he just dips into the top 15. Maybe you need one more fight, but this is it because, the UFC do think of him as a star. He's got the star talent. I think this is a really, really hard choice to go for, though, because you look at John has gone for Thomas Almeida, and that might just be because of Sean O'Malley's antics outside of the ring. He's been busy, he's been talking a lot. He still doesn't seem to accept his defeats, talking about how he's undefeated, how he really won. So to me, that's not always a great symbol, is it, when it comes to a fighter? So it is tough, but I think I'm going to give the hype train one more chance. And I think I'm going to go for Sean O'Malley. And I think he's going to do it in some sort of devastating fashion. And we might see Thomas Almeida get caught with this loss.
Yeah, just looking at Almeida's record, he's 4-1, 1-4 in his last 5. Is that right?
Yeah.
Just trying to use the app here to get this up. 1 second. That doesn't bode well, does it?
No, it does not bode well. Probably his best win is that Brad Pickett fight. But then this is a guy who has been in the UFC for about 7 years now. And, he is only still 29. So he's been at the UFC for a very young age. And, those losses to Jimmy Rivera, Rafael Assunção, Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt, they are top fighters.
True that. Well, I'm with you, Chris. I'm going to give O'Malley one last go, the hype train. But I've got one foot dangling off the train and 1 foot on the train, and I'm kind of leaning out the hype train window. I'm looking to jump off onto the tracks, so Sean O'Malley better do something here. I just don't like him, Is that fair to say? He's.
But did you like him before the Cheeto loss? Or is it all the antics after that have put you off him?
Yeah, it was after the Cheeto loss where I thought, show a bit of humility. He lost and he's pretending he's undefeated. And he's said some stupid things on his podcast. And who's the other guy? His coach, Tim Welsh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he also seems a bit strange and says some weird things. Tan Nguyen says, Sean O'Malley's stock tanked so much after his last loss and right after UFC gave him a new contract. Yeah, indeed. Dylan thinks O'Malley wins via heroin not working on him. I should really read these before I press them on the screen. Yeah. Well, I'm going for O'Malley, and 79% of people on the app are picking O'Malley. He is heavy favorite, -305 with Vegas. So, yeah, I'm there. Let's do it, Chris. Gillian Robertson and Miranda Maverick next up.
See, this is, to me, a super exciting fight. I love WMMA. I love seeing the women fight. I think as well, these two are two to look for the future. Definitely got great opportunities to get ranked. I mean, look at those ages, 25 and 23. Hopefully they'll add a little bit more blood to that 125 because we do need some people to come through and start going up those rankings to really challenge Shevchenko and Andrade, Coogan and the people at the top because it's a bit thin at the top. Good to have a Canadian fighter on the card. It's been a while. I think this is going to be a super exciting fight, but Miranda Maverick, everything I've seen about her has been fantastic. I've been well and truly on the hype train. Her jiu-jitsu and her ground game is fantastic. She looked fantastic back in October. Was she on the Khabib card? She won the fight via cuts. It was just a fantastic fight. I mean, she is a former Invicta champion. Yeah, Miranda Maverick, this is actually a hype train I'm on, probably more than the Sean O'Malley hype train. I really only see it going one way.
Lepina Light agrees with you. Maverick all day, Chris. So do 74% of people on the app. She is minus 155. Yeah, I'm enjoying you guys. I'm there. So all four of us so far. Again, Blaze probably fast asleep in the middle of the night in Georgia. So she hasn't made her picks yet. But Drake, JHK, Chris, and myself all on that Maverick hype train. Sepiolot, good to see you again, Sepiolot. I hope you're well. He says, I worry about Jillian's strength a lot, but I believe Canada forever. A lot of Canadians who follow our channel, Chris. A lot of Canadians who work for us and Canada power. Exactly. Let's see. Anyone else going for Jillian Robertson? Let us know. Otherwise, Chris, we can move on down that card.
Yes,
we definitely are going to go to Jamie Malarkey and Kama Worthy. Let's do it.
Wow. This is such a hard one to call. This is potential fight of the night because Kama Worthy is just such an exciting fighter. Had that awesome win against Luis Pena last year. I think, was it back in Fight Island or was that in Jacksonville? I can't quite remember. And had that pretty exciting fight, even though it only went around against Otman Izatar a few months ago. Can't Worthy, super exciting fighter. Then you also have Jamie Malarkey, 26, super young, fighting out of the Central Coast, Australia. But what makes this guy so interesting is you look at his record, he's 12-4, but then you think he's lost to Brad Riddell, who is a really good fighter in the UFC. He's lost to Volkanovski, who's a really good fighter in the UFC. I think he made his debut against Martin Wynn, who is obviously the champion over in one championship. So when you think three of his losses to fighters the caliber of Volkanovski, of Martin, and of Brad Riddell, he is on a 2-fight skid. But this is the one that I'm going to go for. I think he's going to catch Kama on the chin. And I'm going to go with Jamie Malarkey. And I think Australia levels up once again. And I think it's a good fight to go for. I think it's very possible for an upset. And I like the odds.
Now you're making me doubt who I'd pick, Chris. 79% of people with Kama Worthy. But, yeah. Chris, you could get some nice points there if you get that one right. Convince me, anyone in the chat. Kama is a sick name, so gotta go with him, says Sepiolot. Good fight. Yeah. I got Malarkey, says Lepina Light. Split down the middle there, aren't we? Oh, I don't know. This is where it's a tough one, isn't it, Chris? Because you could be on like a 5-fight win streak at the beginning of the card. You get one wrong, suddenly you're back in the doldrums. It's the way this game works.
That's it.
I'm going to play it safe, though, Chris. Going with Kama Worthy. Sorry, I should have gambled a little bit. But sometimes I just play it safe. Sometimes I put my neck on the line. But if I don't know enough, I'm going to play it safe. And I'm not enough, what's the word? I don't know enough about Kama and Jamie Malarkey to really make a truly informed decision. That's why I have yourself on here, Chris, to give me your expert opinion. You've gone for Jamie and I've ignored your expert opinion, so I'm sorry. But let's do it. Let's go. Who we got next, Chris? Let's go down this card. Alonzo Menifield. Fabio
fight
Caran.
of the night potential. I mean, these are two absolutely jacked, bodied up fighters who are just going to go in there and swing. If I believe correctly, Fabio Charant has only been doing, is it Charant?
100% of people have picked Menifield. That can't
Yeah.
be right. On the
Charant's
app.
only been doing MMA, I believe, for about 5 years. When he got into an MMA gym to lose weight, I believe he was into like some powerlifting and weight building, bodybuilding before that. And then I heard apparently he weighed about 300 pounds when he first went into a gym. Now he's cut down to that 205 limit, and he is just an absolute beast. I think this is fight of the night potential. I think this is one of those fights. It's blink if you miss it. I like to see John Honko. He must be watching. He's making his picks live. I think this is blinking, you miss it kind of stuff. And then you've got Alonzo Menafield, former alum of Dana White's Contender Series. I think back in 2018, maybe, beat Paul Craig in his second fight, who's a solid fighter, then lost 2 in a row, recently lost to OSP. I think this is blinking, you miss it action. I feel like this is going to end in a knockout. I feel this is going to be a super exciting fight, but it's just so hard to choose. But I am going to go with the LFA alum over the Dana White's Contender Series alum. I think he was a former champion in LFA. And I just think everyone's back on Menafield, and I fancy a little bit of an upset. Maybe Menafield has downloaded this fantastic app. He's seen the statistics. Maybe it's got to his head. Who knows? So I will back Fabio and go against the grain.
You're the first person on the app who's done it, apparently.
Oh, wow.
I don't like those odds, Chris. I don't like those odds. He's plus 220, so you'll get some points.
Yeah.
As Lepido Light points out, he's fought lesser competition. I'm going to play it safe again. Sorry. I'm going for Alonso Menafield. I know that's not very interesting. But look, Big Rig is on the fence there, Drake Riggs. So maybe he's in two minds, Chris.
Yes.
All right, why don't we get down the card there? We got Jared Gooden. 1 second, I'll bring up the browser here. My mouse has decided to stop working. Jared Gooden and Abubakar Nurmagomedov, I believe another cousin of Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is going to be cornering him, I think, as well. Khabib is in Vegas. Khabib is just transitioning into that coaching role. Yeah, we didn't really talk about Khabib's retirement. I know John did on the show, but just on a side note, nice to see Khabib enjoying life a little bit, Chris. His face is a little bit fatter, as Tony Ferguson calls him, fat head. You know, I can relate to that. Just enjoying a bit of nice food, and he's going to be a great coach, I think, Chris, isn't he?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And he's got a chance to show what.
Well, the thing is, it's also as well very easy to be a great coach when you come from a region that has so much fight talent.
Yeah, and this is another one, cousin of Khabib. I think a lot of people
used to fight in PFL. He was involved in that incident back in Las Vegas.
Don't mention it, or you'll get banned by Ali, Chris.
He spent some time on the sidelines. He did lose by submission, I think, back to David Zawada in his UFC debut. But I fancy him. I fancy him to use his wrestling. I think he's fought slightly higher competition from his time in the PFL. Jared Gordon, he is bodied up. He is amazing. He had a great run in Titan and in LFA, coming off a loss, though. And I think he might be getting thrown to the wolves a little bit here so the Nurmagomedovs can get a little bit paid. I'm going to back Nurmagomedov, and usually when you get a fighter who is coming from Dagestan, who's fighting out of AKN, who's a cousin of Khabib, it's not always a bad decision to back them.
Yeah, 85% of people on the app are with you, Chris. I'm with you as well. It's Big Rig has picked them and JHK. Case closed for me. But
Yeah.
Jared Gooden might just go and prove us all wrong. That's the beauty of this game and this sport, Chris. I love it. Fanatics, Fantasy MMA. Go download it in the App Store, wherever you get your apps, or get fanatics.app. It's all there. Join our SCMP MMA group for more fun like this. Modestus Bukowskis, Chris. Sorry, Modestus Bukowskis. Have I pronounced that right? I can't.
Yep.
I'm struggling with some of these. And then this name is even harder. I don't want to embarrass myself by butchering his surname. Have you got a better idea? Alexichuk?
Mikal. We can call him Mikal.
Yeah. Let's call him Mikal, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mikal.
His nickname is the Lord.
All right, we'll call him the Lord.
The Lord versus the Baltic gladiator himself, Modestus Bukauskas. Fantastic fight. Modestus fighting out of Gintas, Denham Way. And I think he also does some training up in Blood, Sweat and Tears in Northampton with Vucenic, who had a great fight last weekend in Cage Warriors. Bukauskas is one of my favorite fighters. I think he's got a super exciting style. Oleksiejczuk, apparently it's pronounced.
Oleksiejczuk. All right, thank you so much, guys.
And
the Lord.
Former Cage Warriors champion, fantastic kickboxing, so big, so tall, fantastic at using his reach, using his height, creating distance, maintaining distance. He had a fantastic debut in his first fight back at Fight Island. He turned around 3 months later, got knocked out in the first round by Jimmy Cruz. It's one of those ones where you get someone on the button, you can always knock them out. It's nice to see him back in the ring. For this one, and this always gets me wrong. I always back my UK guys, my guys coming out of the UK scene. I'm going to back Modestus. I'm going to back the outsider for the third time of the card. But I think if he can play it slow down the fight, don't let Oleksiejczuk come in, push forward, and make it his fight. I think if he slows the fight down, goes for the legs, and slowly picks him apart, he'll get the knockout as long as he doesn't push too much. So I'm going to back Modestus Bukauskas for this fight.
Drake Riggs, the big rig himself, is with you, Chris. 63% of people with you on the app. But JHK has gone for Oleksiejczuk. So I'm on the fence officially. Oh, is he swinging over? Look at that. Just messing with us again. He's got nothing better to do. Look at that, Chris. Flip-flopping all over the place.
He's playing games. Standard John Yonko. Hey, just guys, while you can watch John Yonko messing around on the app, just remember to download the app in the App Store, the Play Store. And remember, while you're on SCMP MMA, check out some of our fantastic interviews. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got interviews with Bukauskas from a few months ago on there. We've got interviews with loads of the fighters. Like and subscribe to SCMP MMA.
Yeah, I'm going for Oleksiejczuk just because I feel bad. I didn't know how to pronounce his name earlier, so I have weird reasons sometimes, Chris. You know this.
Oh, 100%.
There's Eddie the Blasian is spreading fake news in the chat there, saying the Woodley fight is off. Oops, my bad. Never mind. Yeah, there were some changes I got on email. I'll just read them out. I think they were overnight. I'm not sure. The women's strawweight bout between Hannah Goldie and Jessica Penny has been moved to UFC Fight Night. Whitaker versus Gastelum. That's a shame for Penny after all her stuff with USADA. The women's strawweight bout between Luana Pinheiro and Randa Marcos has been moved to Reyes v. Prohaska on May 1st. William Knight has been removed from his light heavyweight bout with Alonzo Menafield, rescheduled to face Da and Jung at Till versus Vittori on April 10th. Yeah, a few changes here, it looks like. So it's a shame. William Knight, JHK, did interview him earlier. So hopefully all is well with him. But we've still got a couple of fights, Chris. So let's get through
one
them.
more fight on the preliminary card, and that single one early prelim fight.
Shane Young and Omar Morales. Who you got?
Yeah, this is a really tough one to call. Shane Young is a beast. Don't let his record fool you. He's been on quite a run. City kickboxing, so obviously he's of a certain caliber. He's fought all over the world. Brave, Glory. Lost his UFC debut against Volkanovski, but after that went to win his next two. Lost to Ludovic Klein, which was a little bit lucky. I'm a big fan of Ludovic Klein, but I think with this one, I feel like I have to back Omar Morales. He's a fantastic fighter. He's fighting out of hard knocks. He did lose his last fight against Giga Kazde, but it was a very close decision, in my opinion. And then apart from that, in every fight he's been in, he's looked absolutely fantastic. Back in the Contender Series, he was good. His win against Benitez, Donghyun Ma, I think, the Korean, top results. Great stand-up, great at creating distance. I think Omar Morales is going to knock out Shane Young.
Shane Young KO says MMA LOTN, who also says this show is tough to watch. I'm sorry. We'll try and make it more interesting for you. But he's got Shane Young. I'm going to go with Omar Morales. I'm with you, Chris. 75% of people on the app are with him.
Oh, wow.
And that's that. Minus 185. Yeah, I'm with you. Anyone else, let us know in the chat. Otherwise, Mark Andre Barrio and Abu Azaitar. Here we go. Let's do it, Chris.
Well, there's only one way I really think this fight is going to go. These guys are just a bit odd. They're absolutely huge. There seems to be, I think there's three of them, is there? The Azatar brothers. Huge following in Morocco, pretty big following in Germany. I think they've got some links to the King of Morocco or a prince or something there. They've got huge sponsorship. We've heard stuff about bags and whatnot and potatoes. But for me, this is going to be Abu Azatar. I think I'm on the hype train. I believe in the hype. Legitimately, 77% of people on the app have backed Azatar, despite him not being the favorite. And Barriot, is it pronounced Barriot? My French is terrible.
Yeah.
Has not won, I believe, for 3 years. He's got 1 draw and 4 losses in his previous fights. And I think Abu Azatar is probably going to just snip this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. Big Rig and JHK are also there. So safety in numbers, Chris. And that's about that. For the card, yeah. Thank you, Chris, for your picks.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Shane Young fight still stayed on the card, but apparently they followed all the protocols, so...
Actually, I want to see the leaderboard while we're here. How do I find that? That's for the event, isn't it? Oh, how do I use this? I think I can only look at it in the events. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I can switch it here. This month. All right. Yes, let's big up the screen a bit. So I'm not top. You'll be shocked to know, Chris.
Yeah.
Ollie Rendell, shout out. Ranimal, the man himself. Tristan is doing well, 4th there. I think if you're in the green, Chris, that's
a pretty solid result.
Yeah, that is solid, because I believe you and I are not in the green. Michael Owen is doing well there, 9th place, 585. If you beat Vegas, that's something, isn't it? Diraj, 345 there in the green. A lot of people here above me and you, Chris, who make a few picks and then they dip in and out. We were talking about it last night.
Doing very well.
James
if
Main.
You see Mikey Do, he's the odds maker for the One Championship fights, and he's got 14 W's in the win column, 29 losses, but he only really tries to bet on the underdogs in almost every fight.
Yeah, you can play the game however you want, Chris.
Very few wins and a lot of L's, but he's beaten most people on the app.
Yeah, you can do it that way if you want. I just think I like to make picks for every fight. It's just more fun. It doesn't get me anywhere. But James Main doing well, former champion in our group, I think from January. Is that right? And then we've got a few others here. Drake Riggs is minus 125, and Adam Martin as well up there. Oh God, Blaze has fallen from her lofty heights of February, I think it was, or was she January champ? Eddie the Blasian as well down there. Tom Taylor. Oh God, can't see our names, Chris. We're even worse.
I'm number 94.
James Bedell. There's Darcy Sepulot.
Dusty Clark, Sepulot,
Unacceptable chattering. JHK not doing too well in his first week. I think he's just had the app since last week for that one championship card. So
yeah, it was only recently released in Korea. So if anyone out there is from Korea or living in Korea, now's a chance to get yourself on the app.
Andrew Whitelaw not doing too well either, but better than me. Where am I? Oh, so far. There's your 10 Fanatics.
There's number 94, Chris
EB.
Oh, can I point out, no one has more wins than me in the whole group. I am 31-17. I'm just terrible at ever getting an underdog.
I was talking to Chris yesterday about maybe switching the method to wins and losses in the group. Let us know what you think in the chat if you'd like to change it from Vegas odds to simple wins and losses. There are pluses and minuses, I think, Chris, to both. Let's try and round up some opinion. I've talked to James Bedell about it before from Fanatics. There I am, 107th. Fantastic. Minus 1565. You see, guys, this is why I don't gamble. That's why I don't bet, because the proof is right there that I don't know what I'm doing. But to comfort me, Jesus is below me, one championship UK, and a few others. Bob O'Kane. I know this guy. He's the one who made our football shirts for SCMP. A few others. There we go. Valentin Barry. That's it. 120 people there on the leaderboard. There's about 177 in our group now. Tell your friends, Chris. Get everyone to sign up and all that. We just want to grow this group, grow this community. It's really fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think we've got around 200, 300 members in our group now, and we really like to grow that up. I mean, we've got over 16,000 subscribers. We would love to get 500 people in our group on this app. Ideally, we'd love to get 1,000, have everyone back that out, and then obviously the longer it goes on, the more members we have as well, the better the prize will be. Remember, if you win this month, you can win this awesome swag of a post-fight t-shirt. We've also got Kumite t-shirts from John Young Co's show. So it's pretty fantastic. But the more people we have on the app, and remember, the app is free. The more questions we'll be able to take everything. Just better prizes, and hopefully, if we get enough people one day, we'll have some cash prizes.
What does Alan mean here about listing both streams? I'm a bit of an idiot with streams. Do you know what he's talking about? Love the streams tonight. If you're able to, you guys should list both. Oh, does he mean listen to both? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let's go. He's got a question though, early, but who you guys got, Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury?
I would have Tyson Fury in this fight. I think he's the better boxer, the more technical boxer. But my only issue would be that we'll probably make it closer. It's a 2-fight deal. It might be a draw, the first one. It's not uncommon to see that in boxing. But for me, Tyson Fury been out of the ring for over a year. There could be a little bit of ring rust there. I don't know if he's playing mind games. He looks to have put on weight. There has been pictures and videos of him drinking again. It could be mind games. I hope he's got everything under control, though. But if they're both at 100%, it's 100% Tyson Fury, in my opinion. But if Tyson Fury comes in at an 8 out of 10, I can see Anthony Joshua knocking him out.
Okay. I'm kind of on the fence, so I don't really have a pick. But what's coming up, Chris? There's no one championship show tomorrow.
No, there is no one championship now for 2 weeks, I believe.
April 7th in the US, April 8th in Asia here, and it's going to be nice and early for us. 8:30 in the morning. Should be
I'll
done
be
by
here.
midday. Be great.
So yeah, 2 weeks from now we'll have one championship back. There's UFC 260 this weekend. We might have a post show on Sunday. After that, we've got 2 more fantastic cards in April, and UFC 261 in Jacksonville in April, and we've got the return of Bellator, and might do a little special Bellator preview just for the Grand Prix, maybe something like that.
Are we going to add Bellator into the picks?
Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? It's already got quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Alan is right. There's no UFC after this weekend for 2 weeks, and I am very excited about that, Chris, because I'm going to have a week off for the first time since December. So that's going to be great.
That's pretty nice as well, because over here in Hong Kong and in obviously large parts of Europe and Latin North America, I guess a lot of people will be having Easter celebrations in all those parts of the world. And for us having Easter over here gives everyone a nice long weekend in the middle with no UFC, no one championship, and a little bit of time away from it.
UFC knows it's exam season. Good luck with your exams, Sepulot.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, that's about it. I'm getting the go home cue from my stomach. I'm very hungry, haven't had breakfast. So I'm going to get out of here. Chris, where can everyone find you?
Hey, come at me. I've been tweeting a lot lately. Find me on Twitter at ChrissyB_MMA. Closing in on that big 100. Let's get there. Let's get it done. And yeah, I'm just excited. Looking forward to the fights this weekend. You'll see me tweeting on Sunday morning for sure. And also some funny retweets and a bit of Cage Warriors stuff and a bit of European regional stuff on there. There
we go. You can get me, Nico SCMP. I what am I now? 681 followers on Twitter.
Oh wow!
I don't really tweet much. Yeah, I don't really tweet at all. I'm not very interesting to follow, so I'll just post links to my stories and videos. I try and stay away from getting involved in all the. It's just constant opinions and arguments there, Chris, isn't it? But I think you should all follow SCMP MMA on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe. I think everyone in this chat already has, but if you haven't, like and subscribe. We've just gone through 16,000 subscribers on YouTube. That goal of 20K in 2021 is looking good.
21K we'll get in 2021. Let's make it 21K.
Yeah, I think we're looking good for that. We'll see what happens. Hopefully get some traffic from these next few shows. Some big cards coming up, guys. But as always, thanks for joining us. Yes, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.